Today guys, I'm going to make a Carb Sync Tool out of basic stuff that you can find out of a Home Depot or a Lowe's. It cost me about $7 to make, and I'm going to show you how to do it today.
Mike's Garage.
Alright, so these are the tools that we're going to need. We're going to need a yardstick, we're going to need some tubing, zip ties, drill, and some 2-cycle oil. And I'm going to show you where I got that over at Lowe's. Alright, so the first step we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to drill holes in our yardstick. So we're going to drill a hole in the middle right here at the bottom and at the top. And then probably every 2 inches or so, we're going to drill a hole on each side. Okay? And make sure the drill bit that you're going to use is just big enough for the zip ties that we have. Alright, that way the zip ties can go in there pretty easily. Alright, so remember, so we're going to sit here and we're going to drill one in the top, one in the bottom. And then about every 2 inches, drill a hole one on each side. So we're going to drill a hole in the top. And we're going to drill a hole one on each side. So these are what the holes are going to look like, on the top and the bottom obviously. And then we're going to drill one on each side. We're going to go every few inches. Alright, as you can see, we drilled all the holes. Alright, they're not perfect. But what you really want to do is on the meter stick right there. See, there's the inch here, the half inch there. Get it down here in a quarter, right where, so there's about a 1/4 inch gap on each side. That's really where you want to be to get a level line. There's some on here. This one's a little bit higher, this one's a little bit higher. But we're just zip tying the line to it. So that's not important, but if you're kind of anal about your looks, then definitely you want to get it to where you like how it's going to look for the whole time. Then you're going to use this, I don't know, a few times a year or so. Alright, so this is the hose I got. You'll want 20 feet of it, 20 feet long. And the inside diameter has to be 3/16 of an inch. It's very important because that's what's going to go onto your carbs, onto the vacuum line of your carbs. Don't cut this hose. What you're going to do is you're going to take it and you're going to unravel it so it's all the way done, and you're going to go to the half point and then you're going to hold it there. Sorry guys, I'm doing this one-handed here. Alright, so you're going to take the two ends here and you're going to hold it, and you're going to go all the way to the end. And there's our halfway mark. Alright, and then so on the bottom, right here, we're going to put our halfway mark, and we're going to put our first zip tie so we can mark that. Here's the halfway mark. That's where we're going to zip tie it. And then we'll immediately go ahead and zip tie the two. Now, you don't want to do this too tight because it's going to pinch the hose. See how it's pinching the hose there? So you want to leave it out just a little bit, and then we'll tie it there on each side, and we'll go down the line and we'll tie up the hose to the side here. So what I'm doing now is I'm basically sticking these zip ties through, twisting them together, and making sure that this hose is nice and straight, and then I'm tightening it up. And I'm going to go all the way down the line, all the way down the hole. Alright, so when you're done, the back should look something like this. A little tie sticking out, and we're going to cut that off, and then the front should look something like that. Alright, see here how it's all nice and tight through there, no slack, no nothing except at the end right there, so we don't taper off. Now, I did put a hole at the end, and the reason why, I'm going to put a zip tie here and just put it into a loop, that way that we can hang it on something when we're actually sinking the bike. Alright, so now we're going to cut all these ends off here, make it nice and clean, and then we're going to put the fluid in the hoses, and you'll see how that goes. So now we're going to get the fluid. We're going to use the 2-cycle oil here. Easiest way that I've did it was I take one of the hoses, and I'm actually going to open this up and I'm going to stick this in, And then what I'll do is I'll suck, I know this sounds crazy, about 10 inches of the oil into the pipe, and then I'll let it settle in the bottom. I'll hang it up and I'll let it settle in the bottom. So we're going to go just like this, stick it in there like that. Don't dump it over like I just did. I'm going to stick it in there like that. See how it's a blue color? Two-cycle oil is actually really thin as well because it's designed to burn inside the engine of a lawnmower or weed eater. So this is why it's easy to use and best to use as a indicator in the Carb Sync tool. So I'm going to put the other hose here to my mouth and I'm just going to suck in just a little bit. So that right there is probably going to be about 15 inches, I would think. I think that's going to be enough. If not, we can always go back for more. So I'm going to go ahead and take it here. I held the other end through my thumb to keep a suction in. I'm going to take this side here, turn it upright, just like that. I'm going to release it on my thumb, and then I'm going to hang it up, and I'm just going to let it go down the hose, just like that. See how it's going down? And then it'll eventually end up at the bottom of the Carb Sync tool. Alright, so I did need just a little bit more. So then, this is what my Carb Sync tool looks like now. Okay, so basically what I also do is I'll draw a line right there where we have all the fluid. Okay, now I preemptively drew a line here, right, and basically what that is when they're going up and down, the line's, you know, where we want to be, but all the oil didn't settle at that time, so actually the line needs to move up a little bit. So right here is where we need to draw a line, and when you're sinking the carb, this is where it should go. It'll go up and down on each side, and it would sync up right here. Alright, and in another video I'll show you how to actually use it.